Hello, everyone. How are you all doing? Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. I welcome you to today's episode number 13 of our series 3 of NDISCO'S Village Meeting podcast. I hope this episode meets you in good health, smiling, walking around, doing your thing, and being able to be you, do you. So we're talking about becoming self-empowered. The question is, do you know when you are self-empowered, working towards it, when you have attained it, when you don't have it and you need to work on it, when you need to sharpen that as well? Today, we're going to share about 5 key benefits to doing that. But first of all, how did this come about? Again, the last time we talked about one of my episodes, I believe it's 9 or 10, we talked about self-confidence. And so when we mentioned a little bit about how that leads you to something else. And one of them, and we talked about a little bit about how you empower others in the society, but we didn't dwell much on how you empower yourself. How do you become self-empowered? Because that really will um, be an answer to whatever we all want to be, what we wish we could be, what we have become, what we had, and then we lost it along the way. So today is an episode where we go back to it. And this is also especially to remind my young ones that there is never, ever a time where you say, I can't. That shouldn't be in your dictionary or vocabulary. Yes, you can, but how? It's and why should be your question or in on the back of your mind. When and what is it that I'm looking for that I don't have? Again, it's all about your mindset. Okay. So today we're going to talk about becoming self-empowered if you're not already that. And if you're already that, how do you sharpen that skill? That is what and if you, um, you know, have people around you who don't have that, how do you identify it in somebody else you can learn from or somebody you really share with to say, hey, you can do this. So this is why we say what we say. Again, these are just reminders. You can go into the internet. And today we have AI that can spell things for you. How do I do this? How do I? So what I do here in NDISCO'S village meeting based on Africa society and culture, the things that affect us as Africans that people can learn from that as these things, attend to our culture, or things we could bring from outside to help us either embolden our culture, remove the ones that don't make sense, and actually establish newer ones and learn from others to be able to live in our own culture and also theirs. So there's a whole lot that, these podcasts envisages to touch. So, but today, let's talk about becoming self-empowered. How do you know you got there already? Okay. Again, this is your hostess, Dr. Maslina Ndidi-Oparoji, um, just sharing what I have responded to other young ones, and then sharing it so that many others will um, be able to uh, hear about this and share it also if they want. Parents can also do that, or actually use it as a footing to continue their own discussions with their own younger ones. Extended family members can do that as well. The beauty of these podcasts are that you can start and stop along the way. You don't have to finish listen to it at a sitting. You can listen to it while you are doing chores, while you're driving and all that. You can listen with the rest of the family. It's PG rated, actually, from beginning to the end. So I am proud of it. It takes me time to put this together, concise. I remember when it used to be lengthy, and I apologized. And I listened to you all to say, make it short, simple, and, relatable, which is our KISS principle, KISS, keep it simple, stupid, or keep it simple and short. So that's what I am doing. I'm trying to do. I'm not there yet. So let's talk about self-empowerment. So remember, we all know that it's something that is crucial in our lives. It is called being, having you know you, be you. And what does that mean? It means you taking control of your own life as an individual. Do you have a control of your life? Okay. Can you make informed consent on any topic or anything? You may not be an expert on that or in that, but you know what suits you as an individual, your own persona. Okay. So that all these, when you put them together, can help you reach your full potential as a human being for yourself, for the society, for the world. So that's what this is all about. This is not going to be a long one because we've talked about it before. But how do you know that you are there already? You need it, or you can see it in somebody else to copy from or to learn from and develop it in yourself, because nobody, no matter how much you try, somebody else cannot put that into you. You can learn the way to do that, but you got to come from inside you to hold on tight, to be that self-confident. So, and you've seen people who are that, and you look at them, you say, who do they think they are? They don't think anything else. They just have it inside them to like hold up their heads high, walk that mile. And you see that when they come into a gathering, you think, oh, who made them Lord? No, they may be as scared as you are. They may be like jittery, but they have looked into themselves and coughed up their self-confidence to just go. When they ask those questions, when they talk in public, when they do, and some of us who try to like to do something that people find out is, we're not trying to load it on anyone. It's just you trying to be you. So, number one thing that is the benefit of being self-empowered is what? You increase your confidence. Okay. Those are one of the things. That's one of the things that it helps you develop, a positive self-image. That makes you believe in your ability. So when you are confident, you can think you can move a mountain, despite the fact that you may not have that energy or that power. But that propellant in you is pushing you to really go forward. If that was a word that I use, it's something that's propelling you to go forward. Okay. The other thing to think about is the autonomy. So when you're empowered as an individual, you can make choices that really appeal to your own values and goals, not of somebody else's. Okay. So this is why you see people who are self-confident, they can live anywhere, they can eat anywhere or anything, they can participate in anything. It's what? Because of the autonomy they have built into themselves. They see things as value to them. They see things as part of their goals in life. And so they go for it. They don't wait for anybody else to tell them, oh, you need this or you need to do that. They try that. Okay. They don't rely on others telling them, oh, you need this in your life or you need to do this. They just volunteer. They go in there. They try to do that. And despite all the side noises, what I call side noises, people telling you can't do that or you shouldn't be doing that or because of A, because of B, you ignore them, provided you're not committing a crime against the law. You're not going against your religious backing as well as your faith. You're not going into any institution, against any institution that, has rules and regulations. You're just being your own little self, having fun and doing what you need to do. And so that is one of those. When you are self-empowered, you make informed decisions. Okay. Decision making for you gets improved because you are thinking before you act or before you even say. That's what we say, looking before you leap. Before anybody, if everybody will tell you jump, jump, and do that, you're asking yourself, why am I jumping? Who is asking me to jump? When do they expect me to do this jumping? What will that be in for me? WIFM, what is in it for me? WIFM, what in it, what is in it for me? So to jump, or for anybody at all around me that will benefit them before I can jump. So you ask yourself those questions that are meaningful before you do. No matter what everybody around is shouting, jump, jump. You listen to those who have your self-interest at heart to even make the decision, not even to just jump, to think about what you're doing. Okay. Um, because whatever you do in life has to benefit you in a way that then you can benefit others. Remember, I always say, you cannot pour what you don't have inside you. So you got to really have that in you to give to others. So, because when you don't give what you have, you're faking it. And when you fake it, you get tired and people will see. So you don't jump when people say jump. You just do according to your time and how possible it is for you. Let's talk about resilience. That's one of the benefits of being self empowered because you are better equipped. There will be challenges in life, there will be setbacks in life. Hey, they come from every angle, from every walk of life, for people, from things, from everything. But what makes you self empowered is when you can, be resilient to all these. Because challenges make us grow, challenges reshape our lives, and it's the fool that sinks with such challenges. But a self empowered person thinks about, why is this happening? Okay. Is there anything I can do about it? Okay, you do. If it is out of my control and it's coming from angle that shouldn't even affect me, let it go. And then you focus on what is real. There are going to be setbacks. Sometimes you're going to fail in some things, no matter how many times you try. But what makes you self-empowered is when you get back up, no matter how many times you fall, no matter what setbacks in life. If it is good all the time, very, very cozy, very things are going really great all the time, wait for the other shoe to drop. I don't think it's really good. Life is not meant to be that smooth. It meant to go up and down sometimes. Self-empowered people will be able to see that coming in some cases, and try to get out of its way, or they embrace it. It comes, you deal with it, and you move on. Or you don't succeed in doing anything, but then it flattens you, and then you get back up, pull yourself up. And that's what self-empowerment does for you. It gets you equipped, and you learn from your lessons because you are looking at things, lessons learned. Why did this happen? Can I change? Then that's why when we talk about things going cycle, you start from identifying a problem, you go to the next of seeking possible solutions, you pick out a solution to that problem, one of those from those solutions you have, just one, and you try it, applying it again. And then if it works, hooray, you won. If it doesn't work, you go back to another of those possible solutions you have put together and try that until you get one that will work, or none of them works, you go back to the drawing board. And that's why that cycle of life goes on. So again, some of these are experiences we've gone through. And that's why I talk about them. Again, I'm not the expert in all this, but I speak to you as an auntie from experiences, not only life, of the day to day, but also of corporate life, of religious life, of social life, of economic life, you talk about any part of that, I am sharing from what I know, and also from doing deep research to find out what others are saying about it. So what you have coming from me are things that not just what I said, but what others have also said or lived through. And so as authentic as they are, they come, that's what you hear from me. So again, the next one is personal growth. Okay. Self-empowerment really is one that makes your mindset grow. You don't have only one thing going through your mind every day. You have several things. You expose yourself to several aspects to embrace the life, embrace the world. Okay. Some people tease me, particularly sometimes that, in some forums or fora, like some people say it, um, you introduce something that is not really part of that origin. And I say to them, no, we cannot dwell on our same problem running round and round. We need to find solution from the outside to input into what we are doing or what we are looking at. Because if we continue to go around, it's like a dog chasing its tail. We have the same issues we talk about all the time around. We keep crying, a river on things that are happening around us. And we're seeking the same solution from what has not worked. Why don't we step out and see how the rest of the world is doing it? Bring it back to us and see if it fits. It may never fit, but we can modify stuff. So that's part of fostering growth. And if you have such a mindset, please bring it together, bring it on. Not when we talk about, for example, the other day, some people were talking about war happening in thousands of miles away. And one person had got to say to the group, that doesn't concern us. It's way out in Yahoo land. It doesn't have to do with us. Wrong. Anything that happens in other part of the world has effect on the rest of the world, whether we like it or not. And that's not the topic for today, but could be from another day. And self-empowerment means what? Also encouraging other individuals to learn. I always tell people, don't just, when somebody shares something with you, it's just an idea to create awareness. Go back in and see how much you can get from that. And that will maybe an avenue to enrich yourself with more knowledge. Or, you can never understand the number of times where I have light bulbs go off, like, oh, that's what this means. I never knew that. Oh, is that what this means? You get to learn. So always never stop learning. Okay. Continuous learning is part of self-empowerment. And no matter how old you are, no matter how young you are, there is this development of new skills that never gets lost. Um, People sometimes, nothing is easy. Let me tell you. Even this podcast, people tell me, oh, it looks easy for you. I said, no. Do you know how many hours it takes me to even prepare for one topic? To make sure of the authenticity, to make sure that it's put in a way that makes sense, to be able to relate with examples, and to make sure that publishing it, because there are so many steps that go through that, or else everybody else will be doing it. It's self-taught. I never met closely anybody that did podcasts. I decided to delve into that after so many questions. And so many people say, we want to understand this, we want to do, or we share this with people. And I was getting calls from young ones that I didn't know of. I've never met, most of them I will never meet, most of them, but I don't know how they get my information and send questions. So the idea of my podcast is to answer some of their, so that it gets universal. So people who want to listen to that. Again, I'm not an expert, but what I'm creating is an awareness for people to be able to expand. And so developing these new skills, whether you are young or old, is a necessity in life. It makes life go on. Next time, I'm going to talk about retirees who think life is done. No, that's really the beginning. We'll talk about some more. So developing these new skills are part of your getting self-empowered. Passion, pursue new passions. People will ask, what passion at my young age am I going to pursue at old age? There are so many of them that you won't even know you're going to enjoy until you start doing them. I shared with you the other day, I read books. I love reading books. You travel places. I can't begin to tell you how many places I've been without setting foot in them. You know their ways and all that. I was discussing snow during this blizzard time with one of my colleagues, and oh, I don't know how you got used to this. Maybe because you already lived there. I said, no, we don't have snow in Africa. I read about snow before I even stepped foot in North America, and actually I landed in North America on a blizzard. So it's something we were taught, and that's one of the things that we really enjoyed when growing up. Yeah, we didn't have the practical aspect and all that, but we were grounded in theory. We were exposed to the world, the idea of it, the knowledge of it. And that's why when they say, oh, schools are bad in Nigeria and all that, yes, but, people will tell you that the Nigerian students still excel wherever they are. Yeah, they went through rote learning, but they were exposed to the ideas of the world of what is going on or what is not going on out there. So again, reading, that's how I got into that long conversation, is part of our DNA. That's a passion one can develop. One can develop a passion of dancing, a passion of just writing. Okay, because if you already know English language, that is really something simple. You could go into writing books. It's not really a too far-fetched thing to do. It's not rocket science. Even at that, if rocket science is your passion, go for it. Okay, so there are so many things. Cooking is a passion. You look at on the social media nowadays, people show you how to cook or have soup or prepare ajumbise that postpartum women partake in to get them back to normal. All these are passion. Sewing. I remember when we were growing up, our parents, one of the things they did for us, and a lot of parents did it. And in my own case, my parents did it. And I told you I married young. And when I went into my marital home, my mother-in-law made it a point to also send us out there because we were students. We will be sent to, during the long vac, sent to either a cake maker, a dressmaker, something out there. Farming also, you'll be sent there. That's a routine. But you'll be sent for some hours a day to go learn some skill. Sewing, so it's never late to sew your own button. Believe me, at the time we were changing tires. We could change tires in the car back there. I've forgotten how to do that now, by the way. But all these were passion that were developed in us by exposing us to that. So parents, those are also aspects you can do. Never say your child is too young to do anything. You are cooking in the kitchen, take them along with you. I mentioned in episode 12 how some of our young men are saying our girls can't cook. That's why they are not approaching them for marriage. And that may be the truth. So the onus is on you. Are you in the kitchen and your daughter is out there playing games or something? Bring them to the kitchen, show them how to do stuff. By the time they get to a certain age, they can actually cook for all of you. Um, that says the boys can cook too. Bring them into the kitchen. They don't starve if they know how to cook. So these are passion, and that's a part of self empowerment. Okay, if you can sew that little button on your shirt without taking that to a tailor, that is great. If you can actually paint your own fingers without going to the salon to do that. You see people who braid their own hair and all that. All those are things that you can do. So to tie this together, because this is a topic we've flogged a lot, but I wanted to put this crucial topic, tie them up into these benefits. these things that can help you sharpen them, grow them, or share with others. There are 5 of them. One, it helps you to increase your confidence. Increased confidence will help you towards your self-empowerment. Autonomy, it showcases your autonomy. Other people don't make choices for you. You make your own choice. Okay. But it doesn't mean that you don't rely on the other people's guidance because you are new in that area, but you take the good from the bad. Okay. That's what we're talking about here. It helps you improve decision making. So in that arena, you are weighing what is good from what is bad, what is possible and what is impossible for you, not anybody asking you to do. Number 4 is resilience. You are, resilient in a way that you are now better equipped to handle any challenges that come your way and setbacks. And instead of lying flat because you fell, you get up to try again, right? Right. And the last but not the least, personal growth. Okay. And that is where you find things to grow your mindset. We talked about AI the other time. How many of you now can really get into AI and know what AI is all about? Just few? How many of you can tell me today, in 5 years, the career they are in now, where they will be? This is where you also look at your personal growth. They ask you this in the company. If you are already working, where do you see yourself in the next 5 years? I had asked 1 or 2 people the other day to write me a business plan. If they are going to be doing XYZ tomorrow, how would they look at it? So one of them did a beautiful job of, the details of the 5 years plan. Oh my God. If he puts it in practice, maybe the next millionaire we're talking about. I had no idea. This is a new topic for me, but I was able to follow. And now I'm like, wow, you got it. He did not seek anything from me than to look over and review. Did this make sense? Yes, it did. And I learned from it. I'm like, wow, it might not put that down for myself, but I could look at it and say, hey, this is possible. And I could make my own, maybe as what I am week to week or month to month. You never know. So this is where we call this one a go and say thank you for listening. Please do subscribe. We appreciate you listening in, and it's increasing. Many people now are going in. I need your comments. Criticism, not critic, not criticism, please. And share your thoughts. I don't know it all, like I keep saying, and our children will be good for it. I thank you. This is your hostess, Dr. Maslina NDISCO'S. Don't forget the spirit of Ubuntu. I am, and so because you are. Thank you so much, and cheers.